Hi everyone, Professor Minglu here again today. In today's video, I wanted to talk about a wonderful organization that accounting students should join called Beta Alpha Psi. So Beta Alpha Psi is an accounting honor society or a co-ed fraternity that has chapters all across the United States. If you're someone who plans to study accounting, finance, or even business, it's definitely an organization that you should be part of. To tell you more about Beta Alpha Psi, I invited two special guests today who are actually former students of mine, Chen and Sarah Cao. Both of them are students at UCLA, and they also are vice presidents of UCLA's chapter of Beta Alpha Psi. So Kelly and Sarah, thanks so much for meeting with me today to talk about this wonderful organization.
Thank you so much for having us.
Well, let's get started. So the first thing I wanted to ask you all is actually introduce yourself. Can you tell us what you're currently majoring and or minoring in and what you plan to do after you graduate?
Yeah, so I'm Kelly. I'm a third-year math econ major pursuing an accounting minor and specialization in computing. And I currently serve as the Vice President of External Relations in Beta Alpha Psi. And for next summer, in summer 2021, I will be an assurance intern at PwC Los Angeles.
Hi, my name is Sarah Cao, and I'm also an incoming third-year student majoring in business economics with a minor in accounting. And I also currently serve as a vice president of internal relations for Beta Alpha Psi. And for recently, I just accepted an offer for Ernst & Young for summer 2021 assurance internship. And after graduation, I hope to explore a little bit, travel, and hopefully become CPA certified.
Oh, wonderful. You guys have a great future ahead of you. That's what happens when you study accounting. So that's one great news. So let's actually talk about Beta Alpha Psi now. So what are some of the workshops that you guys put on? And what are some of the great benefits you guys provide to your members?
Yes, so first of all, Beta Alpha Psi is an honor society that includes 300 chapters across all college and university campuses. And ultimately, we want to provide resources for our students looking for careers in accounting, finance, or other fields of business. Beta Alpha Psi places emphasis on mentorship. We are heavily relying on mentorship to really create bonds between our board members, alumni, and with our general members. When you become a member, you are entered into the national Beta Alpha Psi system, and you're placed in mentorship teams with upperclassmen who have experience with different recruiting processes for UCLA students, and even alumni who work at the Big Four accounting firms, which are the 4 largest accounting firms in the world. And even if it's not accounting, we have alumni and members experienced with consulting, investment banking, and finance roles. So ultimately, we just want to emphasize that we're trying to build a member base with a large network with Bay members of diverse business backgrounds and experiences, which is really important for business.
And going forward to talk about the professional workshops that we host. This includes resume workshops, mock interviews, and we even like to host recruiting boot camps, which we have Bay mentors, so upperclassmen who are members of our club come in to give one-on-one feedback to the members and kind of go through the recruiting process and what to kind of showcase when you're in a professional interview or going to job fairs. And we think that this is a really important tool that all our members could benefit from. And as Beta Alpha Psi, we also host exclusive recruiting events with some of the largest accounting firms in LA. And so a lot of our members prefer these exclusive events because it's in a more intimate and less intimidating setting for students to get to know professionals and really just learn about the accounting field without crowds of people trying to take away that attention. So at Beta Alpha Psi and at UCLA, we hope that these are some of the skills that can help foster personal and professional development.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. I mean, you guys do a lot of great work to help students. So I hope a lot of students will think about what you said and consider joining in the upcoming quarter. Now, I have to ask you this. I mean, Beta Alpha Psi is a wonderful organization, but there are so many other great clubs and organizations that college students can choose from. And people are busy, right? So they've got to only pick a few. What makes Beta Alpha Psi so special? What makes it stand out between other organizations?
We like to say that becoming a Bay member is like joining an instant family. I initially joined Bay to meet other students who had similar professional goals and find people to take classes with, like Sarah here. And you really have the opportunity to spend time with these other members at professional and social events. And Beta Alpha Psi also hosts volunteering events, which really helps engage our students within the community and with each other. And I have personally experienced that everyone who shows up to our events really care about the people and the organization in general. And I really appreciate how strong the Bay Alumni Network is. And as I mentioned earlier, I recently signed an internship offer. And in my personal experience, alumni within Bay have reached out to me to help guide me through my decision-making process. And it was really helpful to talk to someone who has gone through the same process as me and has been thinking through like the same decision. And so I really appreciate all the professional opportunities that Bay has allowed me to take part in and further develop that for me.
Right, and to also expand on what Kelly has just mentioned, I think exactly Bay really likes to be known for its relations within its members and also its relations with professionals in the accounting industry. And with Beta Alpha Psi, I think it's unique in that the alumni and upperclassmen are always willing to help you, always willing to meet up with you for coffee and to just give you advice and to really give you their personal experience on how they've got to achieve their summer leadership programs or even internships. And from just personal experience, I first joined Beta Alpha Psi from the beginning in fall of my first year. And since then, everyone has been extremely welcoming and kind. And I personally did not know much about accounting or finance and what that career could really have potential for me. And so these members are they really like to help you with their mentorship. And they like to really give you that professional development. And so for me, I also got to be a presidential intern during the spring quarter. Through there, I got to hone my interpersonal skills as well as my interviewing skills and my hard skills. And so Beta Alpha Psi is the perfect place if you're looking for professional development as well as personal development and relationship building within the organization. And from being an intern for the president in spring, now we are vice presidents of Beta Alpha Psi, where we can continue the professional development and continue making these lifelong friends and experiences.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Besides yourself, I've spoken to many of the other officers at Beta Alpha Psi in the past, and they all mentioned the same thing, that this club really gives a lot to its members. It's just like one big, very close family. So thank you for saying the same thing they've said as well. So now let me ask you this. Can anyone join Beta Alpha Psi? You know, I mentioned before that most people who join are studying accounting, but can anyone, regardless of their major, join your organization? What if someone is a history major or a chemistry major or a philosophy major? Do they have to, I guess the question I'm asking is, do you have to be a particular a major in order to join an organization? And is there a certain GPA cutoff in order to be a member?
Yeah, so definitely any student of any grade level can join Beta Alpha Psi at any time of the year. So we have a rolling application process and it's on our website, baybruins.com, where students can feel free to join at any time. And we have members who are majoring in cognitive science and French, or even some students who are minoring in Spanish or geology. So business or economics is totally not required. Anyone and everyone is welcome. We just want to serve as an organization to help students grow professionally and personally as business leaders.
Yeah, and we do have a GPA requirement of 3.0 because we are an honor society, but this is waived for incoming freshmen. And I also wanted to mention that we are partnered primarily with the largest accounting firms in LA, but Bay is special in the fact that we can get you in touch with recruiters that are outside of LA. We have current students and alumni who go to firms that are out of state as well. And that's why we kind of emphasize that our members pay this like lifetime membership fee, which enrolls you in our national system. So once you start that process, you could have the option of pledging and to become an initiate, which Sarah and I did in order to apply to become a board member. But other than that, all the members reap the same benefits.
Wonderful. Last question. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with my viewers about Beta Alpha Psi that perhaps we missed today?
We are just excited as Bay Board to just be part of this process and help any student who is curious about where to take their career. And we continue to coordinate with firm recruiters and UCLA faculty to provide the best for our members. And we are just excited to meet you all, old and new members.
Yes, we are definitely excited to reconnect with our existing members, as well as getting to meet new members and getting to meet in person in our social events or even professional events. I think I want to touch on how one reason why students may be hesitant about joining Beta Alpha Psi is because of the one-time membership fee. And this is because it also includes the national registration fee, which is required in order to be known as a lifetime Beta Alpha Psi member. But we guarantee that you can make every cent worth it if you want to truly gain more business opportunities, lifelong friends, and we always provide free food at every social and professional event. So just think of it as an investment for your future career and for your personal and professional development.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for coming to chat with me today. I hope, given what you stated, that students, whether they're at UCLA or any other university, will strongly consider joining Beta Alpha Psi because it's going to do a lot of great things for them, not only socially, but also obviously professionally. So again, thank you so much for making this video with me. And I look forward to seeing you at one of the upcoming Beta Alpha Psi events.
Thank you. And anyone can feel free to stay connected with us in our social media, different social media platforms that Professor Liu has included in the description below, as well as our website.
Never feel scared to reach out. All of our members are very welcoming, and we would love to help you out and let you learn more about Beta Alpha Psi.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you all. And again, have a great day.